Hello! So I had a thought this week, and I do a bunch of stuff to my hair, but I don't record it? I don't know. I thought I'd try that. So anyways, I want to go through my hair today and get rid of the split ends at the ends. There's a lot of dreads that I have that, the dread, it ends around here. I don't need this extra stuff at the end. It's been a year now. It's not going to be moving much, so I'm ready to trim them. And I don't know. If it gets really boring, I'll speed through. But I thought maybe I could chat too. Anyways, I have my cutting shears from cosmetology school. I also wanted to chat about a topic. Cutting shears. Obviously I have no script, or I have not planned for this at all. I just had an hour, so I'm like, you know what, let's use it for this. I was thinking a bunch this week about first off, what I wanted to do with this channel, and I wouldn't mind putting up more videos, not just related to my hair, but maybe just kind of the arts and crafts that I do in general. There's a lot of stuff that I do. I like to spin poi, I like to do henna, crochet. I don't know. I can put it up on here. Just everything that's kind of artsy and me. And my hair being one of those things. Because I don't know. I've always seen my hair as like an artistic representation of myself. But I'll get into that in a moment. Let's see. How am I going to do this with my hair? I want to go through each one individually. Let's flip this. Use a big headband. It's a good look, yeah. Alright, maybe we'll start with these guys. Bring them down one by one. I don't know how I'm gonna do this. Anyways. So a topic I wanted to discuss a little bit, well, discuss as in me just talk to myself. There was a question that a teacher of mine in cosmetology school used to ask her guests as they came in. And I really liked the question. It's a good one. In the preliminary consultation time when you're like going to get your hair done. She used to ask her guests, how do you experience your hair? And how's that one? I always liked that because it was very open-ended. You could... Well, you can't even see me doing this. Oh, and now I lost it. See, I'm all scatterbrained today. Here's my 1 hour, and it's going to be all over the place. Yeah, there. Now you can kind of see. Kind of point cutting at a diagonal. Still want to make sure that they're not blunt. I don't really care for the blunt end look, but I at least just want to get rid of some of these dead ends. So anyways, the teacher used to ask people, how do you experience your hair? And I liked thinking about it because people could talk about, it's thinning, or I find my hair really thick, and it gives you a really good idea of how people experience their hair and then how you can help them experience it better. And, but it made me start thinking about how I experienced my hair, what my hair's journey has been through life, and what that means to me, emotionally, artistically, or none of those things. And I find that my hair, I have a very emotional attachment to my hair for sure. Man, a script would have been nice for this, but who has the time? Woo. Goodbye. Dead hairs. I don't know. How have I experienced my hair since I was young? I was born as a redhead. I definitely think my hair has gotten lighter over the years. I'm more in the strawberry blonde category. My sisters would argue that my hair has always been this strawberry blonde. I beg to differ. And you know what? I think for ends like these, I'm going to braid them. I don't know. I'm just trying to clean things up. So, I don't know. Born with this red hair. Always got attention for that. Wanted or unwanted. And definitely by the time I was making it into like junior high. Ooh, actually, before I even get there were some really bad haircuts as a kid. So, you know, you have those bad emotional experiences from the time that your mom gets you those blunt bangs, or, you know, they decide to cut your hair on your own. And I remember I used to try and cut my friend's hair on my own when I was a kid. I think we've all maybe done that. So, you know, some crazy experiences. Then you get to junior high, high school. For me, I always wanted to put colors in my hair. Fun colors, just fun, funky colors. And that never happened. And I think a lot of that had to do with, I was talking to my parents about this recently. I used to blame them. I used to think it was them that just never wanted me to color my hair. And that's partially true. They loved that I was a redhead. But, I was raised in Catholic private school, and you actually could not do that. It was some of the rules. Now, granted, by the time I was in high school, I went to public school, so that wasn't the case anymore, but I don't think I wanted to cross that bridge with my parents. So I always felt a little like I couldn't express myself through my hair. I couldn't have fun with it, and I was just like limited to the red hair that I was born with. Not that that's a bad thing, but I didn't feel like it represented me very well. I didn't know what to do with my hair, and it was always frizzy, and it was always a pain, and just caused me a lot of grief. Always had to put so much time into it to make it look decent. I don't know. Didn't care for it. By the time I made it to college, I at least started playing around a little bit. I put black tips in at the end of my hair. And the reason why I did that instead of coloring my hair purple or pink is because I was a part of a college marching band that did not allow unnatural colors in your hair. They wanted things to be unified, and, you know, if we took off our hats, they didn't want somebody with like bright pink hair, you know, drawing attention to themselves, because it was about representing the university and showing unity as opposed to, you know, one person standing out over the other. So even in college, I could only do so much. I did the black tips, and then later moved on to a whole black underlayer. And then I had someone professionally put black in my hair kind of as dark lights, you know, like highlighting hair, but instead using black. And I loved that. That was so much fun. It was edgy. It was cool. And, oh, I don't even know what to do with this crazy one. Look at that thing. It's nuts. So, I'm so unfocused. It's been quite a winter so far. Let's just get rid of this whole end. Bye-bye. Go away. So yeah, black streaks in my hair for a while, loved it. But then I didn't want to pay for it anymore, so I started putting the black streaks in my own hair. And, it got real chunky, which was cool. I was fine with that. I was in college, so I had really black, chunky streaks in my strawberry blonde hair. But at least I was starting to, I don't know, have control of my hair a little. I felt like it represented me a little bit more, as opposed to just the red hair that everybody else liked and that I struggled with. And I don't know, that's when my hair really started to become more of an artistic representation of myself, I guess you could say. And where am I going with that? Woohoo! I don't know. I would have friends cut it. There was one time I had 2 roommates of mine cut my hair one night however they wanted to, and that's when I had like the thick black chunky color in my hair, and then they took like meat cutting shears and construction paper scissors and like went up my hair, and it was really chunky and thick, but it was really cool, and it still represented like who I was, and it was totally bizarre. But probably one of the times I got the most compliments on my hair because it was very representative of me. It was just fun. And eventually I let it grow out. And once I graduated college, oh, you know what? Before I even do that, speaking of art and hair, there was an event there called Arts Fest. Oh, this is one of my favorites, by the way. This particular piece, I think it's the longest one I have. It's really funky, but I love playing with it. It really needs to come a longer way to mature, but I don't know, it's my favorite one just because it's so chunky and weird. Besides the point. When I was in college, there was an event during the summer called Arts Fest. And I decided to do something artistic with my hair. And whatever parties that I went to that weekend, I went around with a pair of scissors, and everybody that I met, I had them cut a piece of my hair as a representation of how everybody that you meet, whether it's for a second or for 5 minutes or for a long time, influences you in some way. I freaked out a lot of people, especially the strangers that didn't know me at all. And most people actually didn't even cut much. They were a little scared. Probably scared of me, probably wanted to get a little further away. But it wasn't until a couple friends of mine like cut some chunks that were like right here, and then I kind of stopped. I was like, okay, night's over. But I don't know, I've always just seen my hair as some artistic representation of myself. And so that was a way for me to have fun with it. Then I left college, and since I wasn't in the band anymore, I started playing around with colors a little bit. Instead of doing like a black underlayer, I would have pink underlayer, or a purple underlayer. I always wanted to do my full head of hair, but usually stylists would lead me away from that just because of how much time and effort it takes to maintain things like that, especially when I wanted to do cool colors. I have very warm hair, and I would always want to go gray or go purple, and if I had done that, it just would have been a mess, an expensive mess, to take out all the warmth in my hair, put cool color in it, and then maintain that as it grows out. So even though it was very frustrating and I cried about it a lot, I can understand why they said not to. It's not like I was making the money to be doing that anyways. So I would do underlayers. Hence, you know, all this black underlayer here. Pinks, purples. Every once in a while I would get something highlighted in my hair, what have you. And then there have been some bad hairs in all that. I would love to put some of the different hair pictures as I'm speaking about this in the video, but I have no idea if I know how to do that with the program that I use. But, where am I? I pulled out 2. So, where am I with that? Cosmetology school. So I decided to go to cosmetology school. For various reasons. I'm not going to go into that now. But, you know, that's when I started thinking about the history of my hair, what we're talking about right now. And just seeing different ways to do hair and to style hair. One of my friends in school, we wanted to try doing individuals in my hair, individual braids. Um, and we tried that out, and I fell in love with that. When I had to take those out, I was devastated. And then we put them right back in. I felt so bad for my friend because it takes about 10 hours to do that in my hair. But I had her do it one more time, but it was when I had the individual braids, which I'll show a picture of somewhere. That's when I decided I really should look into maybe locking up my hair, because I had never felt so at peace with my hair before. You know, it was always like trying to color it something or trying to do this or trying to do that. And once I had the individuals in my hair, I didn't have to do anything anymore. And my hair, I just felt like it was cool and fun like me. Sorry, I'm a dork. And I don't know, not having to style it every day and not having to think about it and being able to put beads in and being able to put all these colory fun things in that I like to do with my hair. And having an opportunity to do that, it was perfect. So yeah, it was when I was in cosmetology school and, you know, my friend and I started playing around with different things. I realized that I could have control of my hair, not with the color, but with the style. And so that's how this kind of began. That's when I emotionally started to drift this way. Now, I didn't get them right away. Because one, I wanted to make sure I could get a job first. I was moving. I was moving from Philly to Harrisburg, and you know, I didn't know what was going to happen, and I wasn't confident enough then to have dreadlocks and then to go out and get a job. Now I am. No, I don't care. You gotta like me for my hair. Because that's a part of me. But, yeah, that's when I started doing research and doing that whole thing and getting into the lock process. But, I don't know. Is there a point to all this? That's how I experience my hair. I like to think of it as a representation of how I feel on the inside. You know, I like to think that I'm bright and colorful and fun, and on the days that I'm not, it's nice to have a reminder of it. But yeah, for the first time, I do feel like as if I'm at peace with my hair, because I normally don't have to do anything. This is way more effort that I'm putting into my hair than usual, but I'm just, after a year, I'm ready to get rid of these dead ends. They're not going anywhere. But yeah. It's my hair history. From feeling out of control with it to letting it just be. And I'm much happier with my hair color now that I can at least have it like this. Now I don't even pay attention to the color, it's fine. Once my dreads are maybe a little bit more solidified, I might pick a couple or two just to highlight, like, look at these crazy things. Maybe I'll highlight the outside, maybe dye a couple of them pink or purple or blue. Get my rainbow in my hair, but not all of them. For the most part, I would like to leave the colors kind of natural as they are. Kind of like braiding these ends. You know, there was a downstairs roommate that I had at one point, where when she heard that I was locking up my hair, she was curious to know how I was going to do it, because she thought that it couldn't lock up like how I was explaining it. I guess she knew someone that did braids, like they braided their hair. And I hadn't really looked into that technique, but a part of me wonders if I should like brush out one or two and just do a couple braided ones, because that would be kind of cool to mix in there. I just kind of like having a mix of everything in my head. Bye-bye, dead ends, go away. Alright, maybe I'll stop talking and the rest of this I'll zoom through. I don't actually know if I know how to speed through a video yet, but a friend tells me that I have that capability using, what, Windows Media Player? Not Media, Windows Media Player, no. Movie Maker, Windows Movie Maker. So fancy. So free. Fancy and free. But yeah. I think that's the end of my rant. So how do you experience your hair? You know, if you haven't thought about it, it's kind of an interesting question. Thinking about the history of your hair, how it's affected you emotionally over the years. Like, I've definitely had times where somebody's done my hair and I've gone home bawling my eyes out because they screwed it up. You know, there was miscommunication. They didn't give me what I envisioned, and I didn't express myself enough to say this is not what I wanted. Now nobody touches my hair except for me. Although I do miss getting my hair shampooed in the bowl. Someday I'll have to get one of my coworkers to do that for me. I don't know what to do with this crazy thing. Such funky hair. Whatever. If I think of other things, I'll speak. Otherwise, I'll just fast forward through this boring process. Forgot about this little guy. Tiny. My tiniest one. That's hardly a dreadlock. So now that I'm getting to the end here, I don't know, as I kind of was going along, this technique that I'm using, if I remember correctly, is called slithering. Best done when hair is wet. Again, if I remember correctly, this is all from cosmetology school, which was forever ago, and I don't currently do hair. But I'm pretty sure it was called slithering. It's a way of cutting the hair without, you don't close the scissors all the way, you kind of just slither down. That way you get more of a feathered end. And then every once in a while, you might have seen me point cutting. Just literally cutting points. Because again, I don't want blunt ends. I do want them to look as natural as possible. It's just when I started this journey, the dead ends that I had, I really should have gotten a haircut before. Locking up my hair. But you know, means I get to try this. And anyone else who does the same thing, maybe they'll find this video and they'll be like, ooh, let me try that too. Just don't cut your locks out. Alright, last one. But yeah, so I'm thinking maybe I'll make more videos somewhat along the lines of this. I don't know. Probably a mix of stuff, but just to keep me active this winter with things to do. That way I can share my art to the world. My small little corner of it anyways. Well, no. Guess the dead ends are a little better. Sure. I at least feel like I've done something to make them feel better. I don't know. They weren't going anywhere. Okay, I guess that's it. I don't know what else to do or say. Bye. Oh, how about thanks for watching?